Yuzu Games just released their new blockbuster artifact gathering adventure game called Time Raiders. I've been sponsored to compare it to mobile Tomb Raiders, which is easy because those games are horrible. But to make things spicy, I will also compare it to the PC console versions of the game. The first category of comparison is graphics. This is an easy win for Time Raiders. Yuzu Games spared no expense in their creation of this game. In addition to the AAA graphics of its characters and animations paired with good choreography, it seems as if every cutscene of a new location takes your breath away. So this is an obvious win for Time Raiders because the two mobile Tomb Raider games made by Square Enix have very bad graphics. The best of those two games, known for its fantastic puzzles, actually has the worst graphics, but even the newer Relic Run version can't compare to the AAA graphics of Time Raiders. That being said, once we branch out to comparing it to the PC versions of the game, while Time Raiders still smashes the original Tomb Raider in graphics, the newest PC Tomb Raider has some of the most unbelievable graphics in the gaming industry. And while Time Raiders are good enough to be compared to this PC game, they just can't measure up to the PC masterpiece. The second category of comparison is the grind. This seems like a fairly clear win for Lara Croft Go because there is literally no grinding in the game. Every new puzzle is unique and there is no need to repeat them to move on to the next puzzle. That being said, I would not necessarily consider any of them that grindy because as storyline games, Time Raiders and Relic Run are designed to keep you moving through the storyline, which they both do a great job of without giving too many busy work type tasks. The PC games do a great job of this as well, but the nice thing about a mobile game is of course that you can play it anywhere at any time, which is really nice in story games because sometimes the best times to get a little more of that story is when you're not by your PC. On that note, the third category is storyline, which is by far the hardest category for me to compare. Tomb Raiders has the classic story of Lara Croft finding mysterious relics throughout her adventures and saving the world with her mystical powers. Sadly, the two mobile versions of Tomb Raiders do not do a good job of telling that story, but I figured I would throw in the PC games into this category because the story is such a big deal and one of the original relic finding based storylines. In a similar vein, Time Raiders is also based on finding mysterious relics, but sets the scene in an oriental mysterious culture centered around tomb raiding for these mysterious relics. This is my favorite thing about Time Raiders. They do an incredible job of capturing the Eastern Oriental culture with their game, and then as you go tomb diving, the game does a deep dive into Chinese history, which is rich with intrigue and full of the complexities of thousands of years of their culture. Additionally, they made the game an MMORPG, which actually works really well with everyone going around tomb raiding in a frantic search to get these relics. Honestly, I got hooked on the storyline pretty early on when they told me that I was one of the 9, which I would tell you what that is, but I don't want to ruin the story for you. It's definitely worth looking into. So I'm going to give this win to Time Raiders because I like the novelty of the new theme. Would I have given it to Time Raiders even if they didn't sponsor me to make this video? I honestly don't know. It really is a close call. I like the classic appeal of Tomb Raiders, but I'm also a sucker for the novelty of something new. And Time Raiders did a really good job of creating an intriguing story-based game around tomb raiding for ancient relics. The fourth category of comparison is long-term fun. This is not a fair category in this video because I am comparing several games to one game. So this would be a clear win for the Tomb Raiders series because playing tons of different games is obviously going to provide longer term fun than playing just one game. But I do have a few things to add to this section about Time Raiders. Early on in playing the game, you will see that there are almost 100 relics that you need to find to collect everything. These relics actually boost your power because you're one of the 9, which I'm trying not to reveal too much of that part of the storyline for you guys, and then you can find even more pieces of those relics to level them up. So there's a lot of gameplay and a lot of story packed into this one game. The fifth fifth category of comparison is how friendly it is to free-to-play players. This is tricky because I'm comparing 3 different games plus 2 more when I feel like it, and all of these games have different monetization systems. The oldest PC Tomb Raider can often be gotten for free and has no in-game purchases, while the new PC Tomb Raider game originally cost $60. Even if I only compare mobile games, the puzzle game version Lara Croft Go is initially $6 with no in-app purchases, and even though Relic Run and Time Raiders seem at first glance more similar in monetization, one of them is an adventure game, whereas the other one is an adventure MMORPG, making it very hard to compare how friendly they are to free-to-play players. Both of these games can be played completely free-to-play, enjoying all of the story without paywalls. So I'm going to give this category a tie. The sixth category of comparison is multiplayer, which is a clear win for Time Raiders. As I mentioned earlier, I think the way that Yuzu Games created a whole new world and culture full of Tomb Raiders is a brilliant MMORPG idea, and it really captures the feel of the rush to go find a relic before someone else. The Tomb Raider series, of course, does not have any multiplayer, which is why this is such a clear win for Time Raiders. And then the last category of comparison is potential, which is another clear win for Time Raiders. If you have not seen one of my comparison videos before this one, this category is designed to talk about where something could go, and it usually goes to the new game that hasn't yet reached its potential. The Tomb Raider series is one of the biggest franchises of all time, and in that way you could say that it has more potential, but it has also already hit a lot of that potential, including having some of the most famous people in the world play the role of Lara Croft. Time Raiders will probably never match Tomb Raiders in this particular instance because it doesn't really have a special main character like Lara Croft that can become that famous. Rather, you as one of the 9 are the main character, and that won't get as much publicity. But as a mobile game, the concept is fascinating. I've played a lot of mobile games, and this is the first Tomb Raider mobile game that has a storyline that has captured my heart, and it is done by far the best job of creating the feel that I am a Tomb Raider racing other Tomb Raiders to reach relics first. Well, that's it guys, hope that helps. Time Raiders is a brand new game that just came out last week, and if you would like to download and check it out, I have put links in the description and pinned comment of this video. Alright guys, I'll see you next time.